Let's get this next match going.
If you're thinking back to like the 2017 timeframe, Sam was at the absolute top of his game. That season, he got top 8 at North American International Championships and top 8 at the World Championships, and he's looking to make another top 8 appearance at an IC here in Australia. You can see these prizes being laid out for the players. Nothing too detrimental. Soma is on that Lugia Archeops deck, and Sam will be bringing the Regi Gigas here.
Absolutely. We did see the exact 60 of this Regi deck being played yesterday by Rahul Reddy, team members here, but Sam Chen is taking it into this international as well and into this round 14 here, our last Swiss round for you all today before things really heat up into our top cuts. So let's get straight into this here. Soma starting off the turns. Manaphy start here, going straight into an evolution incense.
As soon as you see the first card, you already know what it is.
Soma is on the Lugia deck, and I do want to just mention Soma, when they got top 10, when they got 10th place at that 2020 Melbourne Internationals, he was playing a Magcargo Mill deck, Magcargo Oranguru. That was the tournament where so many people were seeing that Magcargo Mewtwo deck rear its ugly head, and eventually ended up doing pretty well in some online events pretty soon after, and that led to cards like Bellelba and Bryson Man being banned from the standard format. Soma was one of the early adopters of that deck, but has changed up the strategy quite a bit. We're not seeing a mill deck, we're not seeing a control deck. Instead, we're seeing good old Lugia Archeops.
Yep, good old Lugia indeed. A traditional deck here that we've seen plenty of times. So as we can see here from the Regi as well, Regi pretty much capitalizes on using weakness in their deck against the Lugia deck here. So Soma is going to have to set up here, of course, starting that Manaphy. It does protect the bench, but right now it's stuck up in the active position. So let's see what Soma has planned out for the rest of this turn here, starting off with, of course, that Evolution Incense that got the Archeops, which is going to go straight to the discard pile off of that Quick Ball into a Lumineon V.
And Capture Energy can now grab out a Lugia V. The one other thing Soma would really like to get, of course, you want to get 2 Archeops in the discard pile, but it's not always realistic to do. And I think this is smart here from Soma as well. Knows that the hand is not super strong, so wants to use Lumineon V now before Sam has an opportunity to put Path to the Peak in play, prep a supporter in the hand so that you can make something happen on your next turn.
Yeah, being prepared for these upcoming turns, preparing for the worst case scenario is definitely important, and Soma is recognizing that and preparing perfectly for it. Even the capture energy onto the Manaphy allows it to pivot out of that spot later on if need be. So yeah, definitely setting up here pretty well on the first turn.
Yeah, putting that research in the hand. There are a decent amount of energy cards in the hand, so that's going to be pretty painful to have to discard next turn, but it's really Soma's only option. Now Sam Chen will kick off his turn, has that Regice in the active spot, has a capture energy in hand, and not much else. I see a Marnie there. Path to the Peak is pretty decent, but it's going to be relying on this Marnie, I think, pretty heavily for Sam to see where this turn goes.
Yeah, and it's funny, Soma not wanting to have to discard energy, and Sam Chen wanting to discard a lot of energy, almost the opposite that we're going to see here. But, of course, Marnie is not going to be discarding. It's just going to be drawing into a couple of cards that doesn't discard anything. So here we go, Sam Chen going through the deck here off of that capture energy.
Grab the dragon.
Taking a moment to check the prize card. Sam is
such
always
an interesting rhythm here.
He's pretty furious with his prize card checking. I think we might see him get down a Regi Alecki here. Potentially he does have Choice Belt in the hands. That can be nice to prep there so that you can get a one-hit knockout on a Lugia V-Star if your opponent maybe potentially is missing out on their Dunsparce. So that might be where we see Sam go, but yeah, regardless, it's going to be one of these Regis. And I think this turn is most likely going to be ending with the Regi Gate. Don't know that there's a combination of cards that Sam could see off the 5 from a Marnie that would lead to a turn 1 attack. And we'll actually see the Regi Drago be the grab, maybe a little bit more conservative of a choice. Don't want to put that choice belt in play, let it get lost vacuumed away before you have an opportunity to use it.
Yep, absolutely. Of course, as you mentioned before, Chip, that Path to the Peak is in play, which is going to limit Soma if there is no bump to that. Of course, shutting off the abilities here. So we'll see how that tends to play out as well.
And something I do want to point out here, looking at Soma's list, I don't see a Dunsparce here, Boo, which is normally something. It's an It's something that players have been choosing to leave out every now and again. But
well, it's usually paired with Manaphy, though. So
yeah, it seems like players will keep the Manaphy, and then the Dunsparce is the one that you potentially keep.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we saw from Andrew Hedrick, who won the Orlando Regional Championships. He was playing Manaphy and Wash Energy, but was not playing the Dunsparce. And Soma is deciding not to include it here, which is going to be really nice for Sam, as his Regi Alecki will be able to hit for one-hit knockouts on Lugias, provided he can find those choice belts at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly what the Regi decks came into this event expecting. Hey, if they cut the Dunsparce, if they're not prepared for what I have, then I have a pretty great chance to take the game against Lugia. And they felt confident enough to take that into this international championship. So still going through this deck here, of course, quick balling away that Twin Energy, pretty easy choice. You want to get those energy into the discard pile to use later on once you get all of your 6 Regi out onto the field. But as you said, Chip, we saw after that Marnie as well, there's not that many cards left here to do, and we might just be seeing that Regi Gates, which is exactly what's going to happen here for Sam Chen, searching out a basic Pokemon to put onto the field, and of course that's going to end the turn. Yep, that'll be the attack. It'll grab out either Registeel or Regigigas. Interesting to note as well, Sam Chen is only playing 2 Regigigas. These days, many players have chosen to go up to 3 copies of that card because of the Mew matchup, because Mew players are usually packing a couple of Lost Cities, and Regigigas is your main attacker in that matchup. Sam only has 2 copies of that card here, maybe anticipating Mew to not be an incredibly popular choice. It was a pretty popular one, but maybe anticipating that he just wouldn't hit too many of them. No respect for the Mew VMAX? Apparently not. Hey, that's all right. All right, so as Sam literally just pointed out there, Path to the Peak is in play here. It's now over to Soma's turn, so we'll see what happens over here on Soma's side of things. It does have a quick ball, and that would be able to get rid of the Archeops, and also could grab the Pumpkaboo. And getting rid of Archeops is great here, as now there are 2 Archeops in the discard pile. Provided that Pumpkaboo with Pumpkin Pit is available. Looks like it is there in the deck. That is an option. The question, though, remains, does Soma have the Lugia V-Star? Yeah, you definitely need... I mean, the Path to the Peak is just one more obstacle in the way of Soma getting the puzzle pieces needed to get an attack off this turn. So we'll see what else is in the hand. And, oh, eyeing up the Oranguru here. So that might be able to get some more cards in the hand here for Soma. Maybe is packing that Lost Vacuum already in hand. That could be something that we see here. The stadium card that Soma's choosing to play is Collapsed Stadium, so I wouldn't expect to see that being put down, because that means that you would only be able to get 1 Archeops out into play.
Organized play.
Yeah, it's great for the Regi matchup, but you also have to pay attention to how it's on your bench as well. But just as you called it, Chip, there is that Lost Vacuum. So Escape, 2 cards are going to the Lost Zone, that big Parasol on Soma's side, and of course that Dynamotor being bumped and going into the Lost Zone for Sam Chen. We are going to see a Marnie here now on Soma's side of things, so both players shuffling their hands, but Soma didn't have a hand there. So just going to draw into a fresh 5 cards, Sam Chen being able to draw into 4 as well, which is 2 more than Sam had in the hand before. Soma just needs an out to a Lugia V-Star, and I don't see it in this hand. No Ultra Ball, no Evolution Incense. Does still have a Oranguru. I think we're going to be relying on Primate Wisdom. We've seen it so many times over the last few tournaments. Primate Wisdom can be what these players live or die by. And the draw is an Aurora Energy. Does not find it. Yeah, an energy for an energy there. The Primate Wisdom could not come in clutch there for Soma. And honestly, this is huge. You do not want to be missing turns here against Regi. Of course, a 1-prize Pokemon deck that can utilize so many weaknesses on your end. And one of those weaknesses can be that you just start bricking. You don't get the cards that you need. You don't fall into that Lugia V-Star. So even with the bump of the Path to the Peak, still could not get there for Soma, unfortunately. Soma's thinking about what energy to attach this turn, and also thinking of getting this Manaphy to the bench. And I like this decision, protecting the Manaphy. Limit that Terra Spark damage from your opponent if you can. And the attachment will be the Aurora to the active, and just a pass. Sam Chen now drawing for turn. Yeah.
And he finds a research off the top. Sam's hand was terrible.
And it's all energy, too, that he's going to be discarding to it. Oh, my goodness.
All he had was energy and this escape rope, and his top deck bails him out, that Professor's Research. The question here is, do you want to play the escape rope? And I think the answer is yes.
I think so. The Oranguru, of course, you know, it is...
He's going to sack
has
the
some
Luminion.
utility here and there, but I think all of the other cards on bench are even more sought after to get a knockout on for sure.
And Sam will choose to send up the Regi Alecki here. That's the Pokemon he'll be guaranteed to be able to attack with, provided he can find the Regigigas. I think Regidrago maybe would have been a little bit better of an attacking option, but he's not able to guarantee that he'd attack with it since there was not an Aurora energy down. So it was a smart decision, I think, to go with the Regi Alecki here. And it ends up being that he'll be able to pull this attack off with the energy already in the discard pile.
Yeah, absolutely, and we did see off that Professor's Research, the Regigigas is in hands now, going into the prize cards first off of that Hisuian Heavy Ball, as you can see from Sam Chen's side of the board here, writing down what the prize cards are. You are allowed to take notes in these matches, and you might as well do that so you don't have to mentally just remember what is prize. Just have it down so you don't forget here, and that's exactly what Sam Chen's going to do. Write down those prize cards. And no grab off of the prize cards from the Heavy Ball, but hey, now you have all that knowledge there. Regigigas going to hit the bench as well from the hand from Sam Chen.
And Ancient Wisdom will throw some energy cards into play. Terra Spark online will be able to knock out this Manaphy. Of course, will not be dealing any bench damage, as Manaphy's Wave Veil does protect all those Pokemon on the bench. Sam being very upset about that, it seems.
Very true, but hey, still going to get the knockout here, at least on that Manaphy, going down a prize card here. Now we're over on Soma's side of the field. That Luminion V being in the active here, and we're just going to see a Marnie here. We need to get things rolling here on Soma's side.
Yeah, I think Sam missed an energy attachment there. I'm pretty sure he had not attached, and there was an Aurora energy in his hand. I think I would have liked to have seen that come down into play somewhere, as he's only got one Aurora in the discard pile currently.
Yeah, there's only one attachment that you can have per turn, so when you're able to accelerate that, you want to do that. But hey, now it's gone because we just saw a Marnie here, so Sam Chen going to miss that opportunity into a fresh 4 cards. Soma obviously drawing into 5 as well, but we're going to see the Primate Wisdom first here. And there we go, Chip, we see it. The evolution to that Lugia V, the Lugia V Star, which is the main star of the event, might I say.
Absolutely, the main star indeed. The V-Star marker being flipped as
Summoning Star. Oh my gosh, too many stars.
Too many stars. Soma's feeling like a star, I bet, on the main stage as
well.
Hashtag
capture, get your Raikou out.
Absolutely.
And this is what attacking with Regi Alecki kind of does, though, for Soma, is it's going to allow him to get this prize with the Luminion. If Sam had maybe tried to push that Regidrago, it's a little riskier, but then you make it so your opponent can't take the KO with something like the Luminion. Get that out of play. Put that back into the deck so that it's not a prize for you to take later on.
Hey, I feel like maybe outside of our Mew VMAX players, I think all of the Regi players that we've seen on stream have been taking a lot of risks in these matches. So honestly, I wouldn't have doubted it if Sam Chen did decide to take that risk. But hey, we saw it play out differently here, and we'll see if it benefits Soma here down the line.
Taking a moment here to figure out what energies want to go into play and where. I feel like loading up Luminion is going to be pretty good, as we do see that Primal Turbo being utilized. Take that Luminion out of play while you can. The thing is what do you promote? And I think Soma's going to be okay just pushing a Oranguru here. That seems pretty decent.
Yeah, I think so. Oranguru was already promoted earlier, so might as well do it again. Here we go. All right, all required energy now on that Luminion V off of the 2 Primal Turbos, and we're going to see the same old story. We've seen it time and time again throughout these Lugia matches. That Aqua return fits so well into this deck, allows you to take a quick knockout here, take a prize card, and also shuffle right back into the deck.
Fish is so good.
Along with all the energy cards, and that's so important because that allows you to replace your other Pokemon with energy cards in the future turns.
Yeah, Soma, I think, would love to find that Lugia V-Star here. It can actually be a matchup where 2 Lugia V-Star are decent attackers. Well, maybe not in this instance. I forgot Soma does not actually play the Dunsparce. So
yes, there's no Dunsparce.
if you play Dunsparce and Manaphy, 2 Lugia V-Star are excellent attackers in this matchup. Maybe less so considering that, though.
Risky business here, but we're over on Sam Chen's side of the field, checking shoes. Will Sam take this card or choose to discard it and take the next card?
Yeah, he's having a debate here. Must have been something pretty decent. Has to think about it. Yeah, I hear him say, okay. And,
it's the Regi Alecki.
Yeah. Okay, indeed. Yeah, Regi Alecki will guarantee he can get all the energy acceleration necessary with an energy attachment, and I think with a twin energy in the discard pile, he can power up the Gigaton Break here.
Yep.
This Regi Alecki is pretty awkward to have him play, though.
I was about to say, I think that's what the okay, because it's a Regi Alecki, but it's not necessarily the Regi Alecki you want. But hey, it's doing the job at the end of the day, because now that Ancient Wisdom is unlocked here, which is going to allow all of those energies to come out of the discard pile and be placed onto that Regigigas.
Yep, all the energies are loaded up, and Sam has plenty of search cards to replace this Regigigas, assuming it goes down next turn, and actually does find Scoop Up Net as well. That'll open up some plays for him to potentially clear this Regi Alecki from Astral Radiance out of play in order to replace it with the Terra Spark from Evolving Skies.
Yes, and that's a scenario that we kind of almost saw yesterday as well when we were watching Rahul play this game too with the Regis, and you have so much utility with those scoop up nets. It's so helpful in the deck. So here we go, Sam Chen down to 4 prize cards here. Now we're back over onto Soma's side. Of course, that Lugia V-Star being promoted into the active, still 2 Archeops in play, so no lack of energy that are going to be put onto the field. It's really just how Soma decides to operate around the board state that Sam Chen has right now, which is pretty darn strong.
Yeah, if there's a turn for Soma to attack with Lugia V-Star, it's definitely this one. Your opponent didn't do much on the last turn, effectively just played a Trekking Shoes and took the card that they saw. And then also had to put the Regi Alecki in play that they don't really ideally want. The Regi Alecki that cannot one-hit KO a Lugia V-Star. So this is a great opportunity to attack with Lugia and just hope that Sam does not have the response one-hit KO. And then if your Lugia takes a hit, Soma does play the collapsed stadium, so could retreat to the bench and try to clear that damaged liability out of play.
Yeah, not only that, but when you have the room on the bench and you're not worried about the bench spaces anymore, you also limit the Regi player as well.
Absolutely.
Limiting their bench, which does shut down the Ancient Wisdom ability if they cannot bump that stadium. So lots of utility within that card for sure. First Primal Turbo being used there to apply those energy onto the Lugia V-Star, and then we're going to go into that Professor's Research, that Evital and Luminion hitting the discard pile there and into a fresh 7 cards.
Soma did also have to discard a card that could have been pretty nice for him in this matchup. That is the Echoing Horn. Sometimes it can be pretty annoying for a Regi player to deal with a Regi being put on the bench that you wouldn't like to, but it was just in the hand at the wrong time, so Soma had to discard it off of a research. I think off the Ultra Ball before the research, actually.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, at a bare minimum, you make them waste some resources, have to scoop up something that they weren't planning to before, so definitely a great card inclusion into the Lugia V-Star deck. Now we are just back over here on Sam Chen's side. Of course, Soma going down now to 4 prize cards, evening up the playing field here. And let's see how Sam Chen decides to respond, starting out with a quick ball.
Yeah, chose to promote the Regi Drago here. Does make things a little awkward, so it's unlikely that this Lugia will be one-hit KO'd, as now that Regi Alecki not being promoted will not be a liable target for the scoop-up net. I think it's because Sam Chen is really relying on wanting to draw cards with this Dragon's Horde, is really needing to find a supporter card here. So it makes sense, but maybe it's going to bite Sam if Soma can pull off that collapsed stadium play.
Yeah, absolutely. You see that Regi Drago up on the wall there, because that Dragon's Horde comes in pretty clutch for these Regi players.
A vital part of this deck, without a doubt.
Huge part of this deck. All right, here we go. Quick ball, discarding a capture energy here, going into the deck for a basic Pokemon. Of course, going to be that Regigigas to put it back in play. Make sure you can use that Ancient Wisdom.
And does, I think, have an Ultra Ball in the hand to thin down a little more if he would like it. Sam likely going to be going for the Giant Fangs here. Actually, does he even have the second Aurora energy in the discard pile yet? I'm not sure that he does.
Oh, yeah, because remember, it was put back in with the Marnie.
So we might not even have it lined up to where Sam can attack with this Regi Drago just yet. Might need to draw into an Aurora Energy to do it.
Yeah, of course, because the energy requirement is a grass and a fire and a colorless. So you need to have those specific energy to be able to use the Regi Drago's move.
Yeah, it does have Ultra Ball in hand. Once again, we'll be able to thin the hand down, shuffle it up real quick.
Discarding another Regieleki there.
Yep.
With the Ultra Ball that we had seen chilling in the hand.
And he's going to be relying on Dragon's Horde, trying to find either an Aurora Energy or a supporter. I think Sam would take either of those two things at a minimum. And yeah, at least getting off in a Giant Fangs attack here would be pretty decent. Even if Sam doesn't find a supporter, at least finding an energy would be great.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can see it here from Sam Chen off this Dragon's Horde. Up to 4 cards that you draw into the hand, so it's going to be 3.
Yeah, 3 cards being added, and I don't see it yet. There is a Lightning Energy, so we can see that attached to Regieleki draw a couple of cards.
2, yeah.
But that uses your energy attachment for turn, so you need to now find Aurora Energy and a way to discard it. And there is the Aurora Energy, but no way to put it in the discard pile.
It was a scoop up net. I thought it was a quick ball at first. I was like, oh, that's high, but nope. Unfortunately not.
Does not get there. Can scoop up this Regi Drago and go for the electromagnetic sonar attack if he wants to potentially, and that would just get a trainer card back, put it into his hand. But actually I think Sam is just going to go in with Regigigas as an attacker here potentially after we see that scoop up net picking up the Regi Drago, and now Ancient Wisdom can be used.
Absolutely. So we're just going to see that Regigigas, it's going to be the Gigaton Break. I don't get to say that one too often, but 150, of course, does so much more if it's a Pokemon VMAX, but this is not a Pokemon VMAX. This is a Pokemon V-Star.
Exactly.
So there we go. Just going to see that Gigaton Break off the Regi and back over onto Soma's side. Looks like there's some discussion here.
Just a quick question, maybe. Things getting figured out between our judges and our players, but it will be Soma's turn, and I think this is the turn where if Soma can find the collapsed stadium, it would be massive, because not only would it get rid of this Lugia, provided Soma can find a few more Pokemon. We've actually got our translator sitting down at the table here.
Yeah.
Just getting things figured out, but looks like it is all good to go.
Awesome.
So yeah, this would be a great turn. Soma needs to find the necessary basic Pokemon, put them onto the bench, retreat, collapse stadium. Not only does that get the Lugia out of play, but it will force Sam's hand, force him to try and find a replacement stadium, another path to the peak. And notably enough, Sam has not found Gift Energy yet, been able to put that into play. And so this knockout would not yield Sam any additional cards. He's going to be relying on what he top decks for turn to make something happen.
Yeah, there's not much there, unfortunately, for Sam Chen. Could lead to some very sticky situations if Soma is able to put as many obstacles as possible in front of Sam Chen. So let's see what happens here with the turn on Soma's side of things, but we're going to kick it off with that Primal Turbo. Of course, Soma also had a quick look into Sam Chen's discard pile. Such a great idea when you're playing, especially against Regi, to see what resources they've already burned through to kind of feed into your own strategy down the line. We're going to see this Capture Energy on Soma's side. Drawing out, there we go, that Radiant Charizard.
Yep, able to attack. Now that path to the peak on Sam's side is not in play. It is in his lost zone currently. So
yes, no, it's not play.
Could be a good single prize attacker to go in with. And that Heat Fire Energy does boost the hit points a little bit, meaning Sam will have to attack with Regice if he wants to get the KO hit for that water weakness.
Yeah, a little awkward there for sure.
And still, of course, Sam is missing that second Aurora Energy, so cannot use those attacks super easily just yet. I think he does have it in hand, right? So he'll be able to at least attach next turn, but is now, we'll see what else he has to potentially deal with, as there is a research in this hand for Soma. If he so chooses to go for it, it might just be a Bird Keeper if there's too many resources that he doesn't want to lose.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of energy in the hand, I think, on Soma's side. So, looks like maybe debating it, because counting the energy that's already been discarded, but opting for that Bird Keeper. So going to do a quick switcheroo here, and also going to be able to draw 3 additional cards. Pretty important cards here for Soma.
We'll see what they're able to find. I think that is the collapsed stadium, but are there enough Pokemon is the question.
Oh, yeah, that is very true. Well, there's Ultra Ball.
Yeah, choosing not to go for it, actually.
Yeah.
We'll just go for this knockout here and put this Lugia into harm's way. I think that would have been a really solid turn to go for the collapsed play.
I agree.
I don't know if Soma, I guess, didn't load up enough energy onto that Charizard so it could attack. Maybe is the issue there, right?
Still had the other Primal Turbo,
yeah, both of them were
right?
tilted to the side, so I'm not sure what the issue is. Soma's tilted one back after retreating, so maybe one did get used to search the deck, only chose to grab one energy. I'm not exactly sure what the situation was, but as it stands, Lugia was the attacker for a turn.
Yep, and now it is left in that active position as a liability, really, and let's see what Sam Chen can do for this turn.
So Sam does have 2 Regigigas in the discard pile currently. There is an Ordinary Rod in the hand, but Sam is going to need to find Regigigas here. Otherwise, yeah, this could be pretty awkward. Has a couple Ordinary Rod to burn. This hand is not great. Yeah, Sam is going to be relying pretty heavily here on finding a Gigas off of just this Dragon's Horde, or at least a supporter potentially as well. It's double Ordinary Rod being played.
I was about to say, love to see a double Ordinary Rod getting so many Regi out of the discard pile, and they're going to be shuffled right back into the deck. This is a major function of the Regi deck. You see the Ordinary Rod come into play, shuffle a Regi back in, and then you usually have a ball support card or something like that to draw that Regi that you need, that single last piece, back out of the deck onto your field.
Yeah, Sam has played so many Quick Ball and Ultra Ball so far this game, though, and is
card
also down Capture Energies, already attached for turn as well. So, yeah, I mean, Sam is probably just looking to draw into one of the last few Quick Ball in the deck, or find the Regigigas itself, or find a Research. There's so many things Sam can see, but it is going to come down to these 3 cards, whether or not Sam gets off an attack this turn.
Yeah, you see Sam Chen shuffling hard because this is a very, very important Dragon's Horde here. So definitely making sure the randomization of these Regi is strong so that we can see a nice, good draw here. Let's see if Sam Chen can do it.
Dragon's Horde for 3. Let's see what Sam's able to hit. Sam saying a little prayer, and I don't see it.
Not the correct Regi.
2 Pokemon and the gift energy. Sam is going to miss the attack this turn.
And the gift energy can't even come into play either. That is such a bummer.
And I think this is going to lead to Sam likely missing an attack next turn unless he specifically top decks a supporter card and can find a new hand, as he won't be able to send up a Regidrago. Wow, Soma is going to be able to breathe a huge sigh of relief here.
Yeah, choosing to go with the Lugia V-Star as the attacker and not being punished for it. It is still in the game. It is still swinging out there with that Tempest dive potentially as well. And we still have the collapsed stadium, so we could still even see that play, Chip.
Yeah, that play is still available, and if Soma didn't go for it last turn, maybe now is the time in order to make it happen. Soma's shuffling up now after that. Primal Turbo does find just 1 Aurora energy going onto the Archeops here, maybe just for a pivot potentially in a future turn. Could, of course, come in and attack with it. Archeops is a solid attacker in this matchup, but you usually want to save it until the game is at least past that halfway point, as you don't really want to let your Archeops go down for free.
That is very, very true. I mean, yeah, definitely. Never in a game do you want that to happen, that's for sure. But here we go. Soma's side of the field here. We're just going to see the knockout there, that Tempest dive into Sam Chen's Regidrago, and now it's just another obstacle Sam has to climb here.
Doing some math, figuring out what he needs to attack with here. It's interesting with the Regieleki, since Targeted Bolt actually only can deal damage to benched Pokemon. It cannot target the active.
Yeah, that's a really good thing to point out there, Chip. So Sam Chen making this difficult decision. You got to think, too, Soma is over here with only 2 prize cards needed left to wrap up this game 1.
And Sam is going to concede. Soma had taken too many prizes. Sam knew he was not going to be able to win that one. We're going to have to go to a game 2 here.
It looks like the Professor's Research, I think, may have been like the 2nd card that was on top of the deck there for Sam Chen. But hey, that was a pretty long game there, Chip. I think we still have like 22-ish minutes left on the clock. Let's see if these players can grind through another game, and hopefully Sam Chen can either lock up a game. Otherwise, lose the potential to top cut.
Yeah, Soma came so close to making top cut at the 2020 Oceania International Championships, and now is one game closer to being on that bubble. And speaking of which, we do have some updates we can share from our games out in the field. The top 3 tables are all players who have chosen to ID. So our first 6 competitors who will be in top 8 are Raz Wolp, Owen Kammerman, Yerko Valencia, Rahul Reddy, Pedro Eugenio Torres, and Reagan Retzlaff. And then at table 4, Azul Garcia Griego was able to defeat Mia Fountain, putting Azul at enough match points to be in top 8. So there are about 4 or so tables, 8 players who are playing for 1 spot in top 8. So Sam and Soma find themselves in this position where they're playing this game out and just hoping that their resistance will be good enough if they are to win in order to make it into top cut.
What a tough spot to be in. Not only do you hope to win this game, but you hope after you win this game that it gets you through to top cut, and that is so much stress to be under here. But here we go, our players are setting up the board. Let's see what is in the prize cards for Sam Chen.
Yeah, a couple of Regis accompanied by the Hisuian Heavy Ball is never too fun to see. A couple of supporters as well, as that was something Sam was pretty lacking for most of that game.
Oh yeah, we do see that collapsed stadium in the prize cards as well over on Soma's side, but it is like could be potentially the first prize card taken.
Looks like an early prize, most likely.
Luckily, it's not up there at the top there. So here we go. This is for all the marbles potentially over on Soma's side, but we're kicking it out with our round 14, game 2, starting on Sam Chen's side of the field this time around. Regi Steel being the active Regi for Sam, and we're jumping into the deck with a quick ball, discarding a Serena. So another supporter going down for Sam. Of course, 2 of them are in the prize cards.
Yeah, Sam needs to play pretty quickly here. He's down a game, and Regi is not a deck that is really known for playing quickly. It's not known for taking quick prize cards. It usually plays the War of Attrition. It plays the longer game. It plays the resource game. And so Sam really does need to try to fly here if he wants to finish 2 games on this win-and-in match.
Absolutely. Let's hope things don't get too clunky again for Sam Chen, and we get to just see a clean game between both of these players. We did see the Regieleki come down. Of course, that Speed Lightning energy being placed onto an electric Pokemon allows you to draw into 2 more cards, and one of those Regi coming down to the field is going to be that Regice as well. Passing over to Soma now. Lugia V is... Oh, that was not a pass,
Thinking about the pass.
Thinking about it, but opting to go in with the quick ball first instead. Of course, discarding that Ultra Ball and going into the deck to draw out a Regidrago.
Yeah, drawing out that Regidrago, putting it into play. That Dragon's Horde ability was something Sam was relying pretty heavily on in the last game. It didn't really come through for him, though. Nope. Regidrago kind of betrayed its trainer. It might have been too high of a level. It wasn't obedient just yet.
Very true, Chip. Very true. Yeah, those Regi, they can just go rogue anytime.
And I think that will be it for Sam, and now we'll kick it over to Soma here, who is obviously going to be looking for ways to get Archeops down into the discard pile.
Most definitely. Of course, Soma is going second this time around. Sam Chen opting to go first. Very powerful here, and the Evolution Incense is going to be the same card just played as last turn, so very similar turn we're seeing play out here in our game 2. Taking a quick look through the deck.
Yeah, taking a moment, checking the prizes. I think it's all pretty obvious to us that this Evolution Incense will inevitably grab out an Archeops.
Absolutely. It's one of the crucial cards that gets you into grabbing the Archeops out, so you got to use it when you have it. It's always nice to have in your starting hand, that's for sure.
Yeah, Soma taking a moment to think. You can see he's really got the wheels turning there, trying to map out exactly how this hand is going to play out. It looked like there was quite a few energies. That's a common theme, it feels like, for the Lugia V-Star deck. You know, it's pretty natural when you're playing 16 energies that you're going to find a couple of them. It's not too unreasonable to see a couple of them in your opening hand, right?
Oh, for sure. That is a lot of energy to be playing. All right, here we go. The shuffle up. We're going to see the cut here from Sam Chen. Oh, yes. Okay, the Aurora Energy coming down here obviously has to discard, but that's an easy discard there.
And we are just going to see that read the wind. It is possible for Sam Chen to win on this turn. It is maybe a bit improbable, maybe even a bit unlikely, but it is something that Sam's got to be chomping at the bit thinking about.
Yeah, it's moments like this where does the player push to try to get the turn 2 win? Or is it going to be, let me reserve my resources and let me just finish this out strong, hopefully, for the future of this. But we're going to see how this Marnie turns out for Sam Chen, and maybe we'll have a better picture.
It would have to be a pretty incredible 5 cards for Sam Chen in order to make this happen. And I'm not seeing it, but it's not, I mean, he can thin his hand down pretty decently here, actually. He's got Aurora Energy. He can attach for turn, discard the Twin Energy. He can scoop up net this Registeel.
About to say, scoop up net.
He's got Quick Ball to go get another Regi. He can send up the Dragon's Horde, Regi Drago,
draw some more.
Draw some more. I think Sam is recognizing it might not be worth it to go all in on a play like that. I do kind of still think he should leave that line open. I mean, not going for the win necessarily, but I mean, I think Dragon's Horde to fill the hand here is maybe a little bit better than just Regigate for turn.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that decision too, Chip, but we'll see here. We're going to see the Quick Ball.
Quick Ball being played. This can maybe find that Gigas potentially. Does also need Regirock. So either of those could be solid grabs here. I do think he prized a Regirock this game, but it will be the Gigas being grabbed right off. We're going to check, make sure.
Yeah, it was a Quick Ball to discard that Path to the Peak instead of one of the energy as well from the hands. But of course, the Path to the Peak is already in play here on Sam Chen's side. Well, really on the field.
Yeah, and I think with the Path being in play, he's got to feel pretty decent that he's going to be able to buy a turn at a minimum here. So that might be why he's okay going for the Regigate. But I think considering him shuffling here, he is probably going for Dragon's Horde.
We'll see what cards can be drawn out of the deck if that's the way Sam Chen chooses to play this turn.
And it's also one of these situations where maybe Sam has to go for this just because of the situation. He needs to win this next 2 games in order to make it into cut or have a chance to. So I think he just kind of has to go for it. And off of this scoop up net, he's going to send up Regi Drago. And off of this Dragon's Horde, he needs to find Regirock and scoop up net. If he finds those 2 cards, Sam Chen will win the game here. Do these 4 cards have what is necessary for him to close it out on this turn? There. I think he's got it. Yes, he's drawn the scoop up net and the Regirock. Sam Chen is going to win the game this turn. If he sees it, he's shuffling through the cards. Sam, you've got the game.
Wait, there's no energy?
He's got a Twin Energy in the discard pile.
Oh, you're right, you're right.
Yeah, and
here we go. No, I think it's just like mapping it out, yes.
And Sam Chen finds the pieces. It took him a second to realize it, I think. But yeah, Sam gets the win. And we're going into a game 3 with about 15 minutes remaining.
What an exciting match there. Honestly, Chip, I think it may have just been the hesitation from Sam because it's like, do I have this? Did I just draw into exactly what I needed?
It was almost a moment of disbelief. Yes. It was a pretty unlikely sequence of drawing. He needed to find another scoop up net after having already burned one. He wasn't even really keyed into that being a real possibility. And what do you know? It works out in this instance. And now Sam Chen is maybe 1 game away from being that 1 player to bubble into top 8.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. I'm sure when you're sitting in the seat that Soma is right now, of course, it's very unfortunate to see, as we said before, Chip, you know, these games can get pretty grindy and you are racing the clock. That is a fact. But Sam Chen was able to just wrap that game up so quickly that this should be an extremely exciting Game 3 that we get to go into for our round 14. Of course, this is the sort of winning in for the bubble spot. So both of these players fighting hard to take a win in this round. It is so important here, and we're going to see how this Game 3 goes.
These players are, of course, like we've said, playing for 1 spot. It is, even if they win this game, it is against them. The odds are against them to make it into top 8. So everything has to go right in this moment. Soma, of course, getting 10th place at OCIC a couple of years ago. Would hate to find himself in a very similar position, bubbling out maybe once again. but we'll see how the cards fall. Both of these players will be playing at the top of their game in this moment. This could be the last game of this tournament for either of these players. You've got to put it all on the line here.
Absolutely, the pressure's on. You love to see it a little bit selfishly for the stream. It's so exciting to watch here, Chip. So let's see what's in the beginning hands for both these players.
Sam has a hand that could lead to a turn 1 attack. There's 2 Regis, 2 Quick Balls, an Aurora, and a Speed Lightning Energy, as well as a Professor's Research. And Soma has Mulligan, as well, so that's +1 card. Could we see the fabled turn 1 attack from the Regi player?
That would be absolutely wild, Chip, but I mean, after what we just saw, I am not going to doubt it at all here. Of course, 2 Ordinary Rods there in the prize cards for Sam Chen, which is a very sticky situation.
Yeah, that's absolutely something that could come up. Sam, I do believe, is only playing 3 copies of Ordinary Rod, so that is something that he is going to
is that 2
have to be mindful of. And yeah, that is a second mulligan from Soma. Sam will now have 2 additional cards to start this game, and he is going second.
That is not what you want to be seeing here. Soma needs a basic Pokemon in this first 7 cards being drawn to be able to begin setting up the board and playing this game, but Soma just cannot get it, and Sam Chen is going to have 2 extra cards. Oof. Hey, at moments like this, you kind of just got to do what you got to do. You sometimes get the lucky end of the stick, but let's see if Soma... Is that a 3rd mulligan, Chip? No!
Man, this deck plays so many basic Pokemon as well. It's not something that's going to happen very often, but...
There are tons.
It is obviously statistically a chance that Soma could see that many mulligans. And yeah, we're just finding it in maybe the worst possible time.
Yeah, not when you want to be seeing a mulligan, let alone 3 mulligan, and I'm sure Sam Chen is feeling very comfortable.
Another mulligan, Boo! Another mulligan coming out from Soma.
Oh my goodness, Chip, at what point do we just step in and pick a Pokemon?
I think it's after 5.
No,
yeah.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's something like that. It depends. On the situation, of course. I mean, I think both of these players at this point are just wanting to get into this game here. Sam was like, my hand is good enough. I'm getting plenty of extra cards. Let's just get into it.
Also, how much time is even left on the clock as well for these players? Here we go. We finally got a basic Pokemon over on Soma's side, but unfortunately, it is going to be 4 extra cards drawn from Sam Chen off of those 4 mulligan.
And Sam's hand is excellent now. He's got so many energy cards in his hand that he'll be able to discard on a research. And it's turn 1. Soma can't play Marnie, can't disrupt this hand, cannot do anything about the fact that Sam is just going to be at a massive advantage. And the starter as well is that amazing rare Eviltal, not an excellent Pokemon to have in the active.
And I saw the Manaphy in the prize cards as well.
Oh no.
And the Sowland. Yeah, it's not looking good here for Soma, I'm not gonna lie. But here we go, getting into our Swiss round 14. This is game 3. Sam Chen versus Soma Arai here, kicking this off.
Yep, Soma will draw for turn, and we are under 10 minutes left. Double Ultra Ball in hand is pretty decent. We'll be able to get at least 1 Archeops into the discard pile here.
All right.
Could even manage, yeah, I think it's going to just be 1 Archeops going down potentially, but it's actually, man, are these cards in hand just too important? Do we have to discard both Ultra Ball here off this first play?
Oh, going with... Yeah, we're going to go with the Lumineon V and the Speed Lightning Energy for that Ultra Ball.
And it's going to take a moment to check the prize cards, but in this situation, I mean, both of these players want to win. A tie, I mean, it might lock you up a top 16 finish, get you a little bit of cash, get you some CP, but... I mean, these players are here to win. They want to be an international champion.
Absolutely.
You gotta fly through the deck at this point. Checking prizes is semi-important, but honestly, it sometimes comes to a time where you can't worry about it too much.
Yeah, you need to place your emphasis on other priorities here. Of course, that Ultra Ball discarding an Archeops and a powerful colorless energy to get that Lugia that is so crucial for Soma to have here on turn 1. I'm sure Soma did take note that the Manaphy is in the prize cards. Luckily, pretty sure it is right on the bottom as well, so could be an early prize card taken, but that is definitely a very relevant card in this matchup.
Yeah, something to be aware of without a doubt. It will just be the pass to Sam Chen. And he's drawn a scoop up net for turn. Let's also remember, Sam plays an escape rope as well. There is a world where Sam Chen could find escape rope and potentially knock out this Lugia V on turn 1.
I was about to say, are we about to see one of the strongest turn 1 I have ever seen from a Regi player, Chip? I mean, there is just so many cards in the hands, and even the initial hand was just great cards already, +4. And we are just seeing Sam pop off here.
I didn't see the escape rope when we looked through the deck right there. I wonder if we can get a quick peek at the prize cards. Was it prized or not? No, it's not, so it must be in there. Maybe he's already got it in hand. No, not quite. It must be hiding in the deck somewhere.
Yeah, it's in there, in the deck somewhere.
No,
here.
It is in his hand. It is in his hand.
Oh,
Sam
right,
is going to force the Lugia into the active spot. Play the research.
Way.
All he's missing here is 2 Regi Pokemon. If he can find Regi Gigas and Regice, and he's done it! Sam Chen has found both Regi pieces, and he's going to get off the turn 1 Terra Spark, taking out this Lugia V.
Wow, Chip. I mean, the cards were just in Sam Chen's favor there. So many mulligan, absolute stellar
turn.
And wow, this is phenomenal here. We are going to see.
Soma is left reeling. Eviltal as the only card, the top deck, and Archeops Marnie in the hand. What a play from Sam.
Incredible.
And Soma is just left wondering what could they possibly do to come back from this spot. Cannot deal with this Regieleki this turn, so a Terra Spark is just undoubtedly incoming.
Yeah, this is just absolutely, nothing has gone right here, unfortunately, for Soma. And Sam Chen has pretty much made history books as a Regi player in that turn. So absolutely phenomenal there. Soma at least getting another Lugia V down here, Radiant Charizard as well, but it's just going to be a pass back to Sam Chen. Oh,
Sam
here we go.
Quick. Yeah, he's flying here. He wants to make sure that this game is not going to go to time. He cannot decide. The dancing Aurora energy cannot decide where it's going.
Just flapping around there.
Decides to hold on to it for now, though.
Absolutely. Flapping around there. Just going to get a knockout here. Another prize card there for Sam Chen. Back to Soma here, promoting that Radiant Charizard. Oranguru is going to come down. Quick Primate Wisdom, at least going to draw into a Marnie there, which is going to allow Soma to get into some more cards here because that hand was slim and that hand was unplayable here for Soma. So let's see a fresh 5 cards on Sam Chen's side as well.
There's no out to Lugia V-Star here. Nothing working. Oranguru has already been used. It's going to be an attach to the Heat Fire and just a pass.
Sam Chen absolutely running away with this game. Everything has been set up so quick, and Sam Chen is going quick here. We're just seeing Terra Spark after Terra Spark here.
Yeah, could have used the Scoop Up Net to actually get the knockout with the Regice, but I think rather wanted to just spread this damage. This Charizard's not doing anything in the active spot. I think Sam is pretty fine to leave it in play.
Yeah, this is going quick, that is for sure. We're going to see another Marnie here on Soma's side of the field. Another 5 cards. Sam Chen has 4. Even with the new hands, Sam Chen just throwing these cards down and getting through these turns.
Soma needing to find a way to get a Lugia V-Star, and there is not one in the hand. Once again, we're going to be in a situation.
More energy, just more energy.
I know. Once again, we're going to be in this situation, though, where the player is relying on Oranguru in order to find them what they need.
Absolutely. We've seen it time and time again. Let's see what can happen here for Soma off of the Primate Wisdom. But first, we're going to go into the deck with that Quick Ball.
Going with the Quick Ball and grabbing the Luminion, and will use Luminous Sign now before Sam has an opportunity to put a Path to the Peak in play. Super heads up play from Soma there, without a doubt. But Sam was not only able to find all these energies, not only able to find the attack, but was able to also find gift energy as well. That will allow him to continue to draw here. Soma now off of this Oranguru, just hoping. No, maybe has already used Oranguru this turn. Must have used it before the Marnie.
Okay, so just going to take the knockout there. That Regieleki is finally going to go down here on Sam Chen's side. But too little too late, unfortunately. Sam Chen only down to 3 prize cards left. Still so many cards to work with here. Regi are out on the field.
Needs to find a Regieleki, which is able to do here with this search card.
Absolutely. Quick Ball, discarding that gift energy, searching through the deck here now for basic Pokemon, of course. Like Chip said, needs to be that Regieleki, and it is going to be that Regieleki. Drawn out, played onto the field so quickly here.
Yeah, Sam's got to play out a decent amount of cards in this hand, so he needs to move pretty quickly. About 2 minutes left, and finds Serena. That could bring up the Lugia here. I don't think he has a way to retreat this Regice yet. There's no scoop up net, and there's no choice belts to lead to the knockout here.
Yeah,
so
counting the energy here that are in the discard pile.
We'll load them up onto Regice and go for the Blizzard Bind.
There we go. That will take the knockout there on the Radiant Charizard. So going down another prize card here for Sam Chen. And that is down to only 2 prizes left for Sam Chen to have to take. Soma being stuck with a little Oranguru. Bird Keeper going to get into that Lumineon V, draw 3 cards here.
And there's still no out to Lugia V-Star.
No out and no V-Star, absolutely, Chip. Nothing is working here on Soma's side of the board. Let's see, Primate Wisdom.
Nothing once again. It's just a research.
Yeah,
Soma can't do anything, extends the hand, and Sam Chen gets the win here in round 14 at OCIC.
Absolutely. Congratulations there to Sam Chen, taking it 2-1 in such an exciting Game 3 there. That was incredible to watch, Chip. Like I said, I think that was one of the most powerful and astounding first turns I have seen from a Regi. Of course, we did have tons of mulligan.